Imagine starting your trading day knowing exactly where the market is likely to move. No guessing, no hoping, just precise setups that work like clockwork. Today I'm revealing the New York strategy, a simple yet powerful approach to trading liquidity sweeps right after 8 AM EST. Plus, I've got a game-changing hack that will boost your win rate instantly. This is the strategy that pro traders don't want you to know. Stay with me because I'm about to break it all down. So here's how it works. Before 8 AM EST, we want to identify a clear range. This is where price consolidates, building liquidity above and below price. So let's take a look at this area right here. You can see that before 8 AM EST, price was pretty much moving sideways and it was in a clear range with liquidity built up above these highs and liquidity built up below these lows. So therefore, this is a valid range and we are looking for a potential setup. What's the next step? After 8 AM, we wait for a liquidity sweep. So this could be to the upside or to the downside. And I show my students exactly how to find the bias for the day and I trade live with them daily, which you guys can also join in the description below if you want access to my full course and live trading with me Monday to Thursday. So make sure you go ahead and check that out in the description below. And remember, we can pass your funded challenge 100% guaranteed. So click the links down below for more information. After 8 AM EST, we want to wait for a liquidity sweep. So for this example, price has swept liquidity to the upside. And as you can see, it's taken those buy stops from these highs. Now, the third step is to simply look for the reversal. Now stay tuned because I'm going to show you a hack of how to identify the highest probability setups for this strategy and exactly how and when to enter the market after the liquidity sweep. So stay tuned for that. But first, let me show you an example of where this strategy does not play out. Let's take a look at today's price action on Euro USD. So now let's mark out the opening time. As you can see, 8 AM EST is marked out. And to the left of it, are we in a clear range? And the answer to that is no. You can see that price has expanded in the session before our market opens. So as you can see in London session, price pushed to the upside, sweeping the previous New York session high and also sweeping the previous day high. Things like previous day highs and lows, previous week highs and lows, previous session highs and lows are major magnets for price if you use them correctly. So as you can see, London has already expanded to the upside, pushing around 45 pips to the upside, and then pre-New York we saw that push to the downside, which you could have taken advantage of if you did look for that confirmation. However, following this specific system, there was not a trade today because there was no clear range. So remember, we only want to look for a clear range before 8 AM. Let's get straight into it. So I'm on Euro USD on the 15-minute time frame. You're probably wondering, what pairs does this work best on? It works best on forex pairs, which are ideally dollar correlated because we are trading the New York session. Now looking at price before 8 AM EST, look to the left. Are we in a range? Now you can see we have built up relatively equal highs right here and price has pretty much been moving sideways. We did see a drop to the downside which did end up taking this low out. However, we are still maintaining within this range. As you can see, we've not taken these highs out right now. What I've marked out here is the New York midnight price. Now this is a vital part when it comes to this strategy and when it comes to ICT concepts, because this is the true day open. I've talked about this before, but make sure you pay attention and take notes. Mark out the New York midnight price. So as you can see, I've marked out this price with a small dashed line right here, and price is pretty much ranging around this New York midnight opening price. So therefore we are in a good range right before 8 AM EST. What I'm going to do is I'm going to mark out the major highs of this range, which is around this area right here. You can see we've built up lots of liquidity in this area right here, and I'm also going to mark out this low right here just in case we do come all the way down here and sweep the lows. But looking at price right now, I am preferring a sweep to the upside. Now this is just a bias that I have because on the 4-hour time frame we have a clear order block with a fair value gap. As you can see, we have a nice sell side imbalance and buy side inefficiency with this candle right here. Prior to 8 AM, we're looking at price, it's in a range, we want to sweep to the upside to then look for sells to the downside. This is the ideal setup. Now let's go back down to the 15-minute time frame and allow price to make its move. Now I'm just going to get rid of this line here, and you can see that price has tapped into the POI straight away. Now the next step, we look for a reversal. What confirmation do we look for this setup right here? what we're going to look for is lower time frame confirmation, but we're also going to mix in time frame correlation. So on the 5-minute time frame, ideally what I want to see is a price action pattern which we call the engulfing candlestick. And on the course we talk about exactly this. So make sure you click the link down below if you want to join the private Discord and get access to live trading with me Monday to Thursday, and 2 jam-packed courses full of value where we go over different types of entry signals just like this. So we followed all our steps. Now we're just waiting for our entry confirmation, and as you can see, price is pretty much meandering, so we're not making a decision until we see that engulfing to the downside, which is what we've got right here. You can see that price has closed below this previous candle's low, and in addition to this, it's also swept this short-term high. But let's dive down into the 1-minute time frame. Price has made that engulfing to the downside, so there's 2 things you could do. You could wait for your overall structural low to get taken out, which is this low right here, this fractal low, or you could enter aggressively off this 5-minute engulfing. So therefore you could place a stop loss above this high, which is around 8 pips, and you could place your TP at this previous high that we spotted on the 15-minute time frame, that first sort of liquidity point that we took out. So remember, before 8 AM, before our market open, we looked for that clear range. After 8 AM, we waited for that liquidity sweep to the upside, and then we looked for that reversal, and we're looking for that specific entry confirmation. So let's play this out right now. Okay, and as you can see, price was hanging about in this area right here for a little while, but we are seeing a push to the downside. Now price has also taken out the structure point with displacement right here, and notice how it's left a fair value gap, which is a very, very strong confirmation right now. So I'm just going to get rid of this overall point of interest. And you can see how price has respected our analysis and it's hit our first target right there. But let's say you missed that trade idea. What do you do next? Because price has definitely broken structure to the downside, and right now it's in a phase where it keeps expanding to the downside. Now what I'd like to do in this scenario right here is, because we're also in New York session, is I'd like to wait for a reversal to the upside, and I'd only be looking for sells around this area in premium, because look to the left as well, we also have this order block point right here. So therefore this looks like a good area to sell off if we do get a retracement to this area. If not, that's completely fine. If you entered on this engulfing area, that was a good trade. If you missed it, you can look for a re-entry. So let's place our entry here with our stop loss above this short-term high, and then our target can either be at this previous 15-minute low, or again this magnet for price, which is the New York midnight open price. Make sure you pay attention to this point because this is a very, very important concept. So let's let price play out and let's see what it does. Okay, so as you can see, price instantly retraced into this area and it's filling in this fair value gap right here. Let's see how we respond to this area. Okay, you can see price is making a nice push to the downside, and it's also reacting to this low right here. Okay, and as you can see, it does take a while, but we do smash our take profit for just under a 1-to-3 risk to reward ratio. Again, let's get into the next example. As you can see, looking to the left of current price, you can see we have this low, and also we have the previous day's low in this area right here, which is also a major magnet for price, as we know. So therefore, I'm going to mark out this low right here. And for the high, I'm going to mark out this point right here. So we've marked out our liquidity, our sell side liquidity, and below this point, we have a fair value gap on the 15-minute time frame. So I'm just going to mark this point out. If we do get a tap into this area within our session, we can then look for a reversal to the upside. So let's see what price does. I'm just going to get rid of this line right here, and then you can see how price plays out. Okay, so as you can see, price has tapped into this area right here and it's just swept the lows. So on the 5-minute time frame, we're going to simply look for our price action signal, which is an engulfing pattern, an engulfing candlestick, right? And remember, we are using this with context, so therefore it is valid to look for these sort of entry signals. So we've still not seen an engulfing, and we've filled in this fair value gap to the downside, which is a good sign that we are balancing price right now. Okay, there we go. We see a strong bullish candlestick engulfing and taking out the previous candle's high. So therefore, on the 1-minute time frame, you can then look for some sort of reversal, some sort of market structure shift, or a fair value gap, which is ideally what I like to look for, to then enter off. So let's say we were waiting for this structure point to get broken. Let's see what happens. Okay, now you can see price respected this area. We did have a mini fair value gap, but that was nothing major. The one thing that we did have in this area was an order block, which price did respect, which could have been a good complement to enter off overall. But what I'm seeing right now is a potential fair value gap forming right here on this break of structure, right? So this is what I like to see. If you guys watch my videos, you know I always want displacement with my setups. Therefore, we are seeing displacement to the upside right now, and we could place a buy limit on this area right here and place our stop loss just below this candle right here, because as you can see, we also have another fair value gap that price may want to fill in. Let's just go up one time frame to the 5-minute time frame, and as you can see, we have an overall fair value gap with these 3 candles. So therefore, we are entering in a good refined area on the lower time frame, on the 1-minute time frame, and our stop loss is in a safe place around 7 pips just below this candle right here. We're then going to take profit at the opposing liquidity area, which is that 15-minute high. Okay, as you can see, price fills that in nicely over there, and we are seeing a push up, and as you can see, price smashes our take profit just like that. And now you can see our entry was very confirmed because we didn't enter straight after this engulfing right here. We waited for a structure shift overall and then a fair value gap to enter on. It's really as simple as that, and it's only simple because we're staying patient and we're sticking to our points of interest. And if you're finding this video helpful, if you've learned anything so far, please drop a like and comment and let me know what videos you want to see next. Let's get into the next example. Okay, so for this example, again, 15-minute time frame, and price is quite obviously in a range right here. One thing that I really like about this range is how we're ranging around the New York midnight price. As you can see from this point right here, the New York midnight opening price, we're sort of staying within this area right here, building up lots of obvious liquidity. So sell side liquidity is definitely resting below these lows right here, and buy side liquidity is definitely resting above these highs. So what can we expect? What's the second step? After 8 a.m, wait for a liquidity sweep, right? So let's wait for that liquidity sweep on the 15-minute time frame. So it's still within this range, nothing's happening right now. Okay, now as you can see, we have swept liquidity to the upside. Therefore, following the process, we're going to look at the 5-minute time frame for an engulfing to the downside or a structure shift on the lower time frame. Let's see what happens now. Okay, now as you can see, price has engulfed and taken out the low of the previous candle. Therefore, we are starting to see some bearish pressure in this area right here. And this is so underrated, guys. You will see a win rate increase just by using this alone. On the 1-minute time frame now, you can see that price has also broken structure right here. It's broken this short-term low with a fair value gap. As you can see, if we just zoom in, you can see that price has made a fair value gap with candle 1, candle 2, and candle 3. Right, price has filled this in, and now we're seeing a push to the downside. So this is a good area to enter off right now for a sell, with our stop loss above this point, and our take profit can be, as you can see, sort of midway of the range, which is the New York midnight price right here, or you can place a take profit at the low of the range overall. Also, another area that I would be interested in is this low right here. Right, you can see it's a clear structural low, so if we break that, we are definitely seeing bearish pressure. Okay, now as you can see, price is sort of returning to our entry, which is completely fine. And right now we are sort of hanging around our entry, and there we go. You can see that break to the downside, displacing below this area right here. So therefore, we could probably expect a retrace into this area before continuing the push to the downside. So it's up to you how aggressive you want to be, but let's see how price plays out right now. Okay, you can see we didn't exactly get a retrace into that fair value gap right there, which is why those later entries are not as preferred. And let's see if we can take out that overall 5-minute or 15-minute low that we marked out before 8 a.m. New York time. Okay, and as you can see, price smashed our take profit right there for around a 1-to-4 risk to reward ratio. And it's really as simple as that. Remember, it doesn't work every single day, because usually when it comes to New York, the manipulation has already occurred. But for the days where price isn't really manipulating in Asia session, in London session, and instead it's consolidating, we can expect that manipulation to occur in the New York session instead. And it definitely works great in New York session because we do have higher volume. You can see those results quicker. My personal favorite session is the New York session, and I also did take a trade on gold today in the Asian session. And if you haven't haven't watched my video where I break down exactly how to trade gold in the Asian session, then make sure you go ahead and watch that video. I'll leave it linked down below. And if you're ready to truly master trading and learn proven strategies like this in depth, my education package is the perfect place to start. I'll leave it linked down below, so make sure you go ahead and join that. It's jam-packed with loads of value. You get ongoing education. All the previous live room recordings are uploaded to there, so you guys get access to every single one of them. You guys also get access to ongoing course education. So I'm going to be adding more videos in there. It's already got insane value with my course and Sniper Ads' course. And remember, 24/7 support. Whenever you guys have a question, you can ask me directly, and our students are already killing it. You guys can go ahead and read some of the reviews. It's definitely the perfect place to start, and I wish I had something like this when I was first starting out. Remember, if you want to get funded 100% guaranteed and you don't pay us a single penny until after you get a payout on your funded account, go ahead, click the link down below. There's limited availability, so it's a private group. You have to request to join the group, and we're only allowing a certain number of people every month. So take action now, guys. Like, comment and subscribe, and also share this video with a friend who's struggling in their trading career. I'll see you in the next video, guys. Peace.